For literally 3 to 4 years, I did nothing in the music business. I burnt the plow. Like I was like, I am out of it. I made a song into a god. I created that idol. And then at a certain point, I didn't know who I was anymore. If I don't have a hit record, if I don't have a song on the charts, if I don't have something that people are following, who am I? For me, God was gracious enough to be able to say, okay, you don't know who you are outside of music. I'm going to show you. I'm a son to God. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a friend, I'm a giver, I'm a creator, I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm an illustrator. I'm tons of things with no microphone. I had to learn in that process that what I do doesn't define who I am.
Right.
Who I am defines what I do.
Hey guys, it's Loren Lorsa, and this is BET Talks. Now today, joining me, you guys may know this guy because his song, 7 times platinum, is one of the biggest cookout, radio, and club anthems, I would say, ever. He's also a husband, a man of God, writer, producer, and icon, and today joining me with him is one of his new collaborators. We're gonna be getting into some things, celebrating 30 years of This Is How We Do It. I have Mr. Montell Jordan and Miss Max Ray. How are you guys today?
We're good. What's up?
What's up, Lauren?
Y'all excited?
Oh my
Glad to
God.
be
Okay,
here.
I will start off this by saying I'm 33, and this song is 30 years.
Yeah.
When you hear those numbers, wow, like I feel like I've been listening to the song my whole life, but I really have. What is that, in this celebration for you right now?
To have a song that's trending timeless,
Yes.
to me it's a blessing. It's something that everybody doesn't have. This is probably something that your mom or your grandma, I don't know, your mom.
I feel like my grandma danced to it. I don't know if she remember why she's dancing to it.
Probably
But
because your mom may have been
yeah.
listening to it, or older. I think Billboard says it's like one of the top 100 party songs of the last century.
Wow.
So I'm cool with that.
Much deserved.
Yeah,
Much deserved.
it's pretty cool.
And Max, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You're here along this journey too of the celebration of the 30 years. When you are, watching him receive the flowers for the song, what is this moment like for you as well too?
I'm just really honored and blessed to even be in the room with him. The fact of the matter that he even wanted to do this collaboration with me, in my wildest dreams could not imagine. And this song is just so iconic. Even of course my generation loves it too. I'm in my 20s and it really is a timeless classic.
It's funny when people say my generation. I'm like, but that's the real deal. The song has been around. It's an honor to be a part of something like that.
Making this song back in '95, what was it like? Set us in that time. What was the vibe? What was the energy?
So me, college days. I'm doing the fraternity thing, Kappa Alpha Psi, Fraternity Incorporated, and I'm going to all these parties, and every party that I go to, a DJ at a certain part of the night gonna play Slick Rick's Children's Story. And it wasn't just like a hit record, it was like you could watch the entire room shift when that song came on. And I would always say to myself, man, if I ever get in the music business, I'm gonna sing over that record. Years later, I start taking the journey towards being a recording artist. I get signed by Def Jam Records. This Is How We Do It doesn't exist, but in my mind it does, because I know I'm going to sing over that record. I just don't know what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna say it. And so the development of the song actually comes about where, as a student of music, I talked about if people listen to Marvin Gaye's Got to Give It Up, there is an intro to that song where you just hear a crowd, you just hear atmosphere, you just hear people laughing. And so I said, that's what I want This Is How We Do It to be. And so you hear atmosphere, you hear people laughing, you hear people, because that's the bedrock that's lying underneath. To this day, 30 years later, when people hear it, there's something infectious about it, and people don't necessarily know what it is. It's bigger than the hook, it's bigger than the beat, but it was actually created from a party atmosphere and from that standpoint.
And you're talking about anthems and lasting power. Got a music game for you guys, okay?
All right.
We're gonna be getting into some people that have done, some anthems over here. So I'll ask a question and then you guys just shoot me an answer. I was gonna say there's no wrong answer, but there are wrong answers.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll help
I'm
you if
relying on
need
you.
it, okay? All right, so which queen of hip hop R&B recorded the classic song, What's the 411 in 1992?
Got it.
I wasn't even alive.
That would be
And I love
Mary
her
J.
so much.
Blige.
That is correct.
I love her.
Bonus question. Who was the rapper featured on the remix of that song?
It wasn't Missy.
Now I'm in trouble right now.
I don't know. I feel like it was Missy, but I could be wrong.
It wasn't Grand Poobah, was it?
Yes, it was Grand
Was it?
Poobah. Yes.
Oh, I get to keep my card.
It was my card. It's
I get to go to the barbecue. Oh my God.
You got to keep the card to make it to the barbecue.
I felt exile almost right there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Yep. Next question. Mary J. Blige did a cover of Sweet Thing on her debut album, What's the 411? Which singer/group recorded Sweet Thing first?
Easy. Yeah.
Gosh,
I got your
so
help. I'm here.
stupid.
I'm your teammate.
Okay.
No, I'm relying on you.
I wouldn't have known this answer.
You gotta know that. It's Rufus and Shaka Khan.
Yes, that is correct. You know the year?
Nah, if I took a stab at it, I would say 78.
75.
So close.
You still at the cookout?
Yeah.
You there? Yeah, that was really, really good. Singer D'Angelo remade what classic Motown song in 1995?
Got it.
I don't want to be wrong. You go.
It's gonna be from Smokey Robinson, Cruising.
Yes,
was
you
right.
are really good at this.
This is my world. You like?
I mean, there's so much good music. I feel like this time of music.
It was a great time.
What was that time like for you? Just kind of building who Montel the music artist would be, because you knew you wanted to do music, but you hadn't done it yet.
I mean, I'm a compilation of, as a student of music, all those different pieces that were coming along at that time. I was listening to Phil Collins. I was listening to Cyndi Lauper. I was listening to Prince and Madonna. Like, I had a very eclectic musical upbringing. I had a big R&B upbringing. I had a big gospel upbringing. And then as hip hop comes along, I literally just became a combination of all of those things. So this is how we do it for me, is because I was a rapper before I was a singer. People don't know that. I would be rapping in ciphers and stuff like that, like, because I would freestyle and do stuff off the top of the head. I was a rap artist who learned how to sing over hip hop samples and beats. So, quick example, original song of This Is How We Do It. If you think about the words, I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Okay, that right there, just that line, reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my, that's rap lyric. But to take designated driver, take the keys to my truck and make it designated driver, take the keys to my truck, it's like literally that's where the R&B and the hip hop for me started to come together. So I would find dope lyrics and dope melodies and try and marry those things together.
What was your rap name?
Money Swing.
Money Swing?
Okay.
Money Swing.
And where did that come from? Because the money was swinging your way?
I was just a bunch of guys who was running around. It was Ant Money, Shy Money, Money Swing. We was thinking money back then.
I love that. Look,
Yeah, that's my rap. That's trivia. I don't think anybody's ever known that my rap name was Money Swing.
So right now, when you talk about the collaboration that you guys just did with How We Do It, the remake of the song, celebrating the 30 years, how did you transform that as like your background with rap, but knowing your classic song, you hear this, this different melody and you put it to that?
Yeah, I was in London. It was about a year ago. We were writing 10 songs in 10 days. This was my 10th song. And I was creatively drained at that point. But I was listening to 90s R&B on Spotify. And of course, this iconic song came up. It was a Friday night. It just felt natural. So I was in the studio and I wanted to just make it super high energy. So there's a lot of dance influence in this one. So when I was there, we were just partying the entire time. I did the kind of same thing. We had mics everywhere, and really wanted to stay true, of course, to the iconic melody of This Is How We Do It, that line, keeping that involved. But I really wanted to transform it in a way for my 20-something-year-olds and even lesser. I wish I was born in the 90s and was actually in the club at that time, because those were the bops. But now it's all EDM, dance music, and I'm like, okay, so how can I somehow bring that into here? So I did it, and then somehow he caught wind of it from my team, which I'm so thankful for.
There are purists that are just gonna be like, nah, son, just the original. Okay, and that's fine, because it's 30 years, that song ain't going nowhere, right? But the song has been interpreted and done throughout the years, and I think this is just a lane I haven't been in with the song to sound in this particular way. And I heard, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Maybe I can, come alongside of this and partner with her to do something different after 30 years. And that's kind of how this collaboration came about.
Max Ray, you said when you flip the song, when you do that flip for you, when you heard his original, what things from his song, I know you mentioned, of course we had to keep the This Is How We Do It, but like, when you talked about the iconic line with the 40, like, were there other lines in there where you were like, yo, I need to make sure that we grab this too?
I was really careful because I wanted to honor that because the original song is the original song. And it's almost like as an artist, I don't want to steal lyrics. I don't want to steal what was yours. Of course, this is how we do it. It's so iconic. I really wanted to make sure that was come across, but I wanted to also put my stamp on it and also just be authentic to my artistry and not steal from you. Finding that balance of honoring, of course, the song and finding a new spin, that was my challenge, for sure.
We can say creatively borrow. Creatively
borrow.
Here's a
Well, it feels like that, though.
No, here's a quick timeless story. I think it was either my third album or something like that. I did a song called Let's Ride. And when I was in the studio, the track was playing this real bow, and I heard the song, and immediately I heard Let's Ride. Your love is bout it. And I heard myself in the studio say bout it. And I immediately stopped myself. I was like, there's no way I can say that because that's Master P. That's No Limit. I immediately figured out, how do I get to Master P to be able to say, will you do this record with me, or will you put your stamp of approval on this record to say I can say bout it? Because if you don't say it, then it's okay, I'm not gonna do it. And so I think what you did was to be like, I love This Is How We Do It. I love the original song. I love Flip. I love all the creative stuff I'm doing to it. But if I can get that cosign on it, it just makes it more valid.
I mean, the example, like you say, tip up your cup and throw your hands up. So I said, grab another cup, baby, come and pour it up. Like somehow bringing that, and he always says, what's up? So I'm like, yeah, you know what's up, because this is how we do it. Like I tried to almost emulate some of your personality and how you did it, but just in a different way, I guess. So creatively borrow.
How far along was the song done when you heard it?
I don't think it was beginning stages.
But it wasn't done, that's for sure.
It wasn't done.
No.
And when initially it was like do you want to maybe come and sing a part of the hook on it or something? It was just like, I liked it to the point I was like, well, give it to me. Let me just see what I can do with it. And so I wrote verses and I just came and like just be all in on it. So
you should have seen me when I heard it for the first time.
I was gonna say, did you expect all of that?
No, I was crying and laughing, and I just told him actually in the car, I was like, I was doing victory laps around the house. Like, I was just so happy.
What was that for you? Did you got a phone call from your team and they're like, hey, he actually likes the song, or?
My publicist knew him and was like, hey, I actually played it for him and he loves your voice and he loves the song, so he wants to hop on. And we got on a FaceTime call. And we connect really on a lot of different levels with our faith. And I used to live in Atlanta too, and it was just a really amazing phone call. It felt surreal for me. And there was just already like a connection, like we can do this, and it felt so natural.
Yeah, so straight truthful moment, like literally it was the Zoom call in finding out that we did have a faith bond, that you, your mom, y'all love the Lord, I love the Lord. That right there for me was like, okay, if we could do something together, I'm down to do it together, because it's beyond the song, or it's beyond all of those things.
Let's talk about your faith journey. I know at one point you were not going to do music anymore.
Yeah.
And then you did the gospel album and then came back. What has the journey been like from the moment where you said, I'm not doing music, to that Christian album to now? Like, what has your faith walk been like?
It was literally, I left the music business, I did my retirement, and I went into full-time ministry. So I am ordained, licensed minister of the gospel. For literally 3 to 4 years, I did nothing in the music business. I burnt the plow. Like I was like, I am out of it, because I made a song into a god for me. I turned a song into an idol for me. Idols don't create themselves, right? We create idols. And so I created that idol, and then at a certain point, I didn't know who I was anymore. If I don't have a hit record, if I don't have a song on the charts, if I don't have something that people are following, who am I? And for me, God was gracious enough to be able to say, okay, you don't know who you are outside of music. I'm going to show you. That's when the stripping away of fame, fortune, notoriety, all of those things go away. I go into a time of ministry. It's a very humbling time, humbling period. But I've said at that time, I'm not going to sing This Is How We Do It no more. And after about 4 years, there's this one promoter who's reaching out constantly to me and my wife, like, yo, I need you to come do this show. I need you to come do this show. My wife won't even return calls for a couple of years. Finally, after like 4 years, she returns the guy's call and says to him, we're not in music anymore, we're in ministry. He's like, I know. He's like, why do you keep calling? He's like, well, I'm a Christian too. I've been following your career. She's like, well, Montel doesn't doesn't do that anymore. He was like, well, my shows are really dark out here and I need some light.
Wow.
And so from that standpoint, it was like, okay, is there a way to bring light into a world that can be really dark at times?
Yeah.
And I had to go back and I had to say a real heart-to-heart with God. And I was like, you know, God, you told me not to sing this song anymore. And God said, I never said that. He said, you said that. So God never told me not to sing This Is How We Do It again. I had to kill the idol. God wasn't going to kill my idol for me. I had to kill it. I had to sacrifice it. But then he was gracious enough to resurrect it. So now I can go and I can be on a song with Max. I can be on whatever television show. I could be here on this great program with you, Loren. I could be anywhere.
Right.
And I get to be the same Montel everywhere that I am in church. I don't have to switch. I don't have to code switch. I don't have to change who I am. This is just me all day.
When you took that time when you were stripped of everything to figure out who you were outside of that song, who did you find out you were?
That was the most painful and beautiful journey at the same time. So very clear answer. Outside of a microphone, I'm a son to God. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a friend, I'm a giver, I'm a creator, I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm an illustrator. Like, I'm tons of things with no microphone. That was the place you've heard me say before. I had to learn in that process that what I do doesn't define who I am.
Right.
Who I am defines what I do.
And what advice do you give younger artists like Max Ray and, you know, other people I'm sure you're ministering to about not making their careers their God?
Well, Max is unique because she already had a relationship with God. So some things are taught and some things are caught. And I think she is catching the idea that, yes, I can be a pop artist, I can be in all of these things, and I don't have to compromise who I am as a daughter of God.
Right.
And so from that standpoint, I think without it being said, it's more being caught that she can see I don't have to compromise to be who God has called me to be, and to be in an industry and have a great career and big records and still be dope and still be fly and still, you know what I'm saying, keep who I am at my core.
Yeah, and I mean, also you're unique in a way. I haven't met, of course, many amazing artists like yourself, but I've met a couple, and you just are so respectful to everyone. And I think that really says a lot about the longevity of your career. And of course, I really do catch things from you. I've been watching you all day, and it's just, you're so authentic and genuine, and I think that's why you're gonna stay a long time, and I'm picking up on that, picking up what you're putting down, you know?
She says she's picking up what I'm putting down.
Stay a long time. It's been 30 years, so it's gonna be a
Yeah.
long. Yeah, that is such a. That's such a career of substance. The song is in commercials, like it's everywhere. When you started to see that shift, when it went from like, okay, I'm a music artist doing this song, to like, no, this song is a household staple across industries. Did you know what was happening at the time?
The original song from Slick Rick, it was already a hit. I was able to be fortunate at a time period in '95 to take a hit and turn it into a classic. Part of the journey of making it a classic was making it palatable and making it customizable for anybody to do anything. We're in New York City right now. The song, I said, you know, I'm kind of buzzing, it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it. When I got to New York City and I roll up in the Hot 97 or whatever, they wasn't trying to play no South Central does it like nobody does. Still, this is at the height of some tensions in the coast and
East
all
Coast,
that.
West
And
Coast.
we're not singing no South Central. So I went into a editing booth. And I said, I'm kind of buzzing, it's all because this is how we do it. Oh, New York does it like nobody does. And at the time, you know, the host and everything, I'm like, this is how we do it. It's Friday night, feel all right. The party's with Angie Martinez. So when I started taking the song and customizing it to say New York and Angie Martinez and Funk Master, and I did that, then DC is like, yo, we heard you did this version and this is how we do it. And so, yo, can you do a version for it? Philly's like, and so literally I had to sing the song 1 billion times to customize it for every station. But because everybody's kind of got some little narcissistic stuff, like if Angie Martinez is on the air for 4 hours, she's probably going to play that song once on the hour because her name is in the song.
Right.
And I'm saying Hot 97
So
or I'm
smart.
saying WBLS. We created something that was customizable that to this day, I could say I'm kind of buzzed off because Loren does it like nobody does.
Period.
You know, and when I do that, yeah, and it's going to get played time and time again because people that love themselves want to hear themselves in songs or whatever. Did we know it would be what it is 30 years later? I did not know that, but I did know that we were doing something very unique in customizing a song, because that's where the longevity of the song comes from.
I don't think you really think about all of that when you're just having a good time and you're partying to it. But there's
Yeah.
so much life behind this song. Kind of what I'm hearing you say is like you learned how to market what one product so many different ways. A big driver of that was commercials.
Yeah.
Now I have another game.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Max, Max like, girl, you got not another
And I'm competitive too, so this was hard.
Okay, all right. So this is how we do it. Pop trivia.
Oh.
Name 3 brand commercials that have used the song "This Is How We Do It."
I know one, Uber Eats. I saw that on Super Bowl, which is crazy.
Okay, y'all clap for Max. She got
Thank you.
Okay. I feel like we just give you a bonus point because you answered it so quick.
yeah.
So you got 2. So
Trying
you
to
win the
think
game.
of 2, you know?
2 more.
Oh God.
That's good.
Early on, it was a Suzu, Coca-Cola, Pepsi did something with it once for a Super Bowl a couple years ago.
You say that so casually.
I know, right?
Pepsi,
Like, wow.
one time, this little Super Bowl thing happened.
Casual
and,
thing.
You know.
I didn't even mean that to sound like that. It's just, that's wild. This song has been, I don't know, what do you got on that list?
Yeah, what are we missing?
Look, I was gonna let you go. I'm learning so much. So I have Jackson Hewitt. I did have
Jackson
Uber.
Hewitt's How We Do It. Yeah.
Subway,
Oh, yeah.
Cranial,
Yep.
NatWest.
Wow.
You like that one?
Like,
Okay.
somebody
insurance
need to
company.
get my publisher to get on the, which
Yeah,
one was
what?
that with that last week? No.
So I'm like, did I get somebody in trouble just now?
No.
The Super Bowl Pepsi commercial that you
Yeah.
mentioned, right? What year was that?
The one that I did with the Super Bowl, that was literally part of why I started coming back into the music business. So I leave the music business in 2011. It's about 2015. And this is when the promoter is calling saying, hey, come back. We want to do these shows. We need some. And Pepsi reached out because they were doing an online campaign and they wanted to use This Is How We Do It. And
Right.
it was funny because they came, a nice, sizable amount of money. I haven't done anything in the music business at all. They want me to come and sing a version of This Is How We Do It. Pepsi does it like nobody does. And so literally I'm like, nah, I'm not singing the song no more. And that's when I was kind of conflicted with, you know, I'm said I'm not gonna sing the song anymore, and God tells me, I never told you that. You told you that. So I was like, well, let me go to my church folks. You know what I mean? My
God
leadership,
had already told you.
everything.
You were still.
He told, yeah, he
If
told.
God told me, I need to know
see,
the
I ain't
numbers on
gotta
that
know,
check.
right?
Because God
Right.
said, go get it. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
God, thank you.
Exactly.
You went back to the church.
Well, I was being obedient because I was in a humbling process.
Wow.
And that was a lot of me that I wanted to make sure this is God, not just me wanting something.
That's it.
And so when I went to my leaders and everything, and I was like, hey, I got this opportunity to do a Pepsi commercial. And it was kind of like, you know, it was like, well, is Pepsi like a godly company? And I was like, what is a godly company? Like, I don't know what that means. And so from that standpoint, that's when it was kind of like, okay, let's all go together. Let's pray on this. And ultimately, we trust you. This is what they said. If we trust you, that if you have any flags and you feel like the Lord is telling you don't do it, then don't do it. But if you don't feel like he's doing that, then go ahead and we'll support you. And that's when I started learning how to not compromise, because there are songs where I did things and I compromised myself. I compromised lyrics, I compromised all types of stuff. And so I went back to the drawing board and said, what can I sing in a song that does not compromise who I am now?
Wow.
And so literally I sing the song and I keep everything the same, but if there's something that is just not something that I'm in agreement with or something that falls in line with my faith walk, now I just don't sing. I just change the word, just like I changed the song forever. So if I say, this is how we do it, it's Friday night, I felt all right, the party's here on the west side, I reach for the old school and I turn it up. Before I said I reach for a 40.
I was wondering how
I don't say I
God
reach for a
directed
40.
you about that 40.
I just say I reach
was
for the old
definitely
school and I
wondering
turn it up.
Yep.
Designated
Yeah.
driver, take the keys. So all the stuff, if there's something that just doesn't sit well anymore, I just don't do it.
Max, right? This is amazing. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Happy for, you know, 'cause I feel like you're able to, I'm learning so much in these few minutes that we've been doing
Right?
this.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what it's like for you, Max Ray, as an artist
yeah.
that's coming up and figuring things out. So thank you guys so much. And congratulations on 30 years of This Is How We Do It, but on the release of How We Do It, celebrating the
Yeah.
30 years.
Thank you.
Thank
give
you
it up
so
for that.
much.
Give it up. I'm Loren Lorsa. This is BET Talks. We've been in great conversation with Max Ray and Mr. Montell Jordan. If y'all haven't learned a thing from this, go with God. Don't go with Pepsi. No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
Unless Pepsi and God is going together.
Unless Pepsi and God pull up.
You never know.
You know. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
I love it.